Politics certainly top of mind in the wake of the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Joining us now, as he does every week, is 11Alive's Zach Merchant, co-host of the Georgia Vote. And Zach, I just want to remind the viewers that at some point this morning we are expecting a press conference because of the suspect being brought into custody. That's the word that we got from President Trump. So at any point we may break in to go to that. But welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. Let's talk about this. Charlie Kirk, man, he was a tremendous influence, right? How has his killing, sparked Georgia leaders? What are they saying?
He was a fantastically influential conservative, really somebody who spoke to a young generation of conservatives. I heard some reporting earlier this week that Charlie Kirk had said at one point that President Trump told him that he was one of the 3 or 4 most responsible people for President Trump's election victory in 2024. And that may sound hyperbolic, but I think a lot of independent, nonpartisan political observers would say that he really was able to engage a young generation and move a lot of them who had traditionally, that young demographic, been staunch Democrats, most of them, moved a significant chunk towards the Republican and the conservative, the MAGA perspective. His assassination, it was shocking. It shocked everyday Americans, of course. It shocked the political world as well. Reactions poured in from across the political spectrum. I want to read just a few of them to you. The Georgia Republican Party chairman, Josh McCoon, he said he was heartbroken by the killing, and he went on to say that he was calling for the death penalty of those, he said, convicted of this heinous act. Governor Brian Kemp, a Republican, he said that this was nothing short of evil. That's how he described this assassination. And he went on to say that political violence is never the answer and it must stop. Democratic lawmakers from Georgia echoed that sentiment, condemning political violence, some of them saying that while they didn't agree with many of Charlie Kirk's stances, they condemned the attack on him, his killing, and they upheld and wanted the ability to speak freely in America to be able to also be done safely. I want to end on this point with this. Charlie Kirk was superbly influential with young people, right, Chesley? Recently, just yesterday, there was a joint statement released by young people, a joint statement from the College Republican National Committee and the College Democrats of America. So these are the 2 big organizations of college kids that are politically active. The Democrats and the Republicans, they said in part, and this is a quote, "Political violence of any kind is absolutely unacceptable. We must always remember that members of the opposing party are not our enemies, but our neighbors and our fellow Americans." That's what the college kids are saying right now.
All right. Well, let's look to Georgia politics right now. There's questions swirling around the Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger's future. What did you learn this week, Zach?
Yeah, the Secretary of State, we've been sort of keeping a close eye on his status in Georgia politics for some time now. He made some news in an interview with us a few months ago where he strongly teased, maybe, but certainly suggested that he was paying a close eye, close attention to possibly running for higher office. This week, he took another big step towards making that happen. I want to read a very brief statement from him that we got earlier this week. He said, "Tricia," that's his wife, "Tricia and I are prayerfully considering how we can best serve the state of Georgia. I will be seeking higher office." That's what Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said earlier this week. That means, of course, if he's seeking higher office, he is not running for re-election as Secretary of State. Still some blanks left to be filled in, though. If you're an astute reader, if you're an astute listener of this, you might say, well, Mr. Secretary, what higher office? We've asked that question. We don't know yet. He has not said, but you can think either Senate or governor are highly likely, Chesley.
All right. I got to wrap with you, Zach, but what else do we need to know for the Georgia Vote real quickly coming up?
A lot to cover. Of course, we're going to be covering more on the reaction to this assassination of Charlie Kirk and the alarming rise in political violence that we have seen across the country in recent months and years. We're going to be breaking it down this Sunday.
All right, sounds good. You can always watch the Georgia Vote with Zach Merchant and Faith Jesse Sunday mornings at 11 right here on 11 Alive Plus. Really appreciate that, Zach.